It's Kate.
And Oliver Hudson. Host of the new podcast, Sibling
Revelry.
That's right.
We started this show because, you know what? No one talks about siblings and that dynamic.
The siblings, they know each other better than anybody.
Yes.
You know.
Listen to Sibling Revelry on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hi, I'm Frances Fry.
And I'm Ann Morris.
And we are the hosts of a new TED podcast called Fixable.
We've helped leaders at some of the world's most competitive companies solve all kinds of problems.
On our show, we'll pull back the curtain and give you the type of honest, unfiltered advice we usually reserve for top executives. Give us a call and we'll help you solve the problems you're stuck on. Listen to Fixable on the iHeartRadio app, on Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Episode 246, Frugal Home Cleaning Tips.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, where you'll learn to save money, embrace simplicity, and live a richer life. Here are your hosts, Jen and Jill.
Welcome to the Frugal Friends podcast, live from Hurricane Ian.
Yeah, we come from you live. We've got hurricane force winds. It's gonna be a Cat 4. Ian's after us.
Okay, so first, I'm Jen.
I'm Jill.
And this has been, for a lack of better term, a perfect storm of circumstances that have led us to recording this episode in a hurricane. So I am hunkered down in my home.
I am hunkered down in Orlando, which is turning out to be not the best place to be, but here we are. I'm stuck.
Yes. Jill was in an evacuation zone. I was not. But no better time to talk about home cleaning tips than when we are so intimately aware of all the things in our houses.
That's such a great point. And priorities,
Right.
Of course, in a hurricane, you're going to talk about cleaning tips and how to DIY your products.
Exactly, because afterwards, we're all going to be cleaning some things.
Yes, this is relevant. And even if you're not experiencing the impact of Hurricane Ian this year, hopefully you still want to clean your home.
Yeah. In all seriousness, our hearts go out to our brothers and sisters in Sarasota County, Manatee, who are going to be experiencing a really rough few weeks.
Yeah.
And we are the lucky ones. So please, if you are local and you can help, please do. If you're not local and you can help, please do, because we're definitely going to need it. But we will get through this. We are built for this.
Yeah.
So don't worry about us.
Yeah. And right now we don't quite know the impact. It hasn't touched down Florida at the time that we're recording this. So also keep that in mind with whatever we say that may or may not be accurate. We have yet TBD.
Yeah. But as somebody who's lived here my entire life, it will be significant. So just send your thoughts, prayers, hearts out to everyone in this Bay Area.
All right. We're going to get into some cleaning tips. But before we do that, this episode is brought to you by mandatory evacuations. You can tell where my mind is at. Hopefully they never happen to you, but it is what is currently happening to me. Mandatory evacuations want you to know that they just desire safety for you and your physical body and the other physical bodies in your home. But it could mean the loss of many prized possessions. If you are not currently being evacuated due to an impending hurricane, now's a great time to get our free ebook. It has over 200 plus ways to save money and spend less. Check it out at frugalfriendspodcast.com/ebook. And not sure if you all knew this, but that also gets you access to our weekly newsletter where we send out exclusive free goodies all of the time. So if you also want that, again, frugalfriendspodcast.com/ebook. It just gets you more access to us, more free stuff, like these more cleaning tips, more love from us. I will hopefully be back to my home soon when the mandatory evacuation lifts. Thank you, mandatory
soon.
evacuations.
They are for your safety. All right. So if you are interested in saving money on home cleaning, if this is something you do want to DIY, then we have a few other episodes. Our last one on DIY cleaning products, do's and don'ts, was all the way back, episode 42. And that's where we actually talked about like more of the solutions, what can be mixed, what not to mix, how different, like what different solutions function to do to clean your home. So that was more like a 201. So now, 200 episodes later, we're going back to a 101. So 42 is definitely a good one to queue up after that. And then also, doesn't seem like a cleaning episode, but episode 172, decorating your home on a budget, because the more intentional and minimalist your decorating is, the less you have to clean. And we're all about efficiency here.
So true.
172 and 42, good ones to queue up after this.
But let's get into this one. Our first episode comes from living on the cheap. And if you've been around long enough, you know that that C word is a no-go for us, but
Jill hates the C word.
This article is a good one. It talks about 9 house cleaning tips that actually work and are inexpensive. I'm replacing the word cheap with inexpensive because we don't use that C word.
No.
And so we'll go through all 9 because I think that they are worth it. And the first one is to clean often. I agree with this one so much. I think it saves so much time in the long run to do it often, to have it just be part of the routine. They use the example of consider if you get a spill on the stove and you wipe it up immediately while it's still a little wet. It's easy versus waiting for it to dry and harden and get crusty. And then you got to break out the heavy duty cleaner. And when does anybody have time for that? I also think about microwaves with this one. Like if you notice that there's a lot of splatter, you just wipe it down real quick. Otherwise, it ends up being quite horrifying and a place you never want to put your food into. So just thinking about that with any part of our houses where we're in the room and you've got supplies nearby and you just do a quick sweep, wipe over of whatever it is. I know a lot of people might have a more routine way of doing this, like Monday it's this, Tuesday it's that, and it's usually just very quick, 5 to 10 minute things that just kind of creates that peace of mind and not needing to constantly do a heavy duty deep clean if we're doing it often. And that's an inexpensive way too, because then you don't need to invest in like the deep cleaners when you're just doing it often with the lower level type of cleaners.
Yeah, I will, when I'm like washing towels, I'll just do a quick spray on the, like my hand towel in the bathroom. I'll just do a quick spray on the mirror and the sink and wipe all that up with the hand towel that I'm going to be cleaning. And then I just throw it into because it was already going to be dirty. So just put some chemicals on it and just do a quick clean. And that's the only time that I clean my bathroom.
And I think we often find that while there's that barrier, like, but I don't want to be cleaning right now, I don't have time to clean, it actually doesn't take that long. Like you get a quick spill of crumbs on the carpet, you whip out the vacuum real quick. It's like it took 2 minutes versus the way that type of mess can build and build and build, and then it just becomes overwhelming.
Yeah. And this also saves you money if you are hiring a house cleaner. If you're doing these small things and maintaining, then they can maintain the deeper things. And then that takes them less time. They spend fewer hours in your house and you save money there. So this is good whether you're doing it all DIY, you're doing a hybrid. So the second is to purchase good quality cleaning supplies. We really, really do stand by this because there is, nothing cheaper than a cheap, like sponge or glove or plastic bottle. These things can be found for pennies, it seems, but they don't last and you will replace them. They will sit in landfills. But if you can, the author says they buy a lot of their house cleaning tools at hardware or janitorial supply stores, because those things are meant to be commercially used for like 10 years.
I love that tip.
Yeah. So if you can buy these things to last, you keep products out of landfills, and you can, and honestly, it's much easier to scrub with something that's like very heavy duty. It makes the job easier. And so you can get more done more quickly.
Mm-hmm. I really like the list that they give here. I feel like this is almost like a minimalist list of a flat mop, broom, dustpan, window squeegee, tub, sponge, scrubber, cleaning bucket, spray bottles, lamb's wool duster, and several cleaning cloths will do well for most homes. And I do feel like, yeah, that's it. And then the cleaning products that you would put into those spray bottles. But yeah, you really don't need a lot. And when we can keep it minimal, I feel like that's what allows us to clean more often, when we feel as though the thing is readily available. We know what we're grabbing for versus, I don't know, I've got like 20 bottles under the sink, and where did the broom, where's the best broom for this? But when you just have the more minimal amount of supplies, it can be even easier to grab for that, know how to tackle a spill, a stain, or just regular cleaning and wiping and dusting.
I've definitely wanted to clean and then gone to the closet, found the thing I wanted to use, and it was like all mangled and like, destroyed. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm not cleaning today. And I'll do that multiple times until I get a new one. But if it's of good quality, you're not going to have that problem. You're going to be able to clean more quickly, which then in turn leads to more frequently.
Yeah. Yep. The next one, I love this one too. Dispose of the disposables. I cannot affirm or stand by this more strongly, that there's so many reasons for our pockets, for the environment, for actually what is good for us to be even breathing in while we're cleaning. The Swiffers, the Lysol wipes, the things that are once and done are expensive and not great for the environment to be throwing away every single use. Or, okay, maybe you use it 2 or 3 times, but still it's not made to last. And so finding products that can be washed, reused, last for years and years is going to be the better way to go. And they give a tip too. If you happen to have a Swiffer and you're in love with that, but you don't want to be buying the reusable pads constantly, or the disposable pads constantly, they're saying that you could buy one of those like stretchy, super fluffy, like Chanel socks that they sell at like Bed Bath & Beyond, or I don't know, probably the dollar store. And you could slide that onto the Swiffer and use that with a vinegar solution, and then just keep rewashing it. Of course, if you don't have that product already, there's plenty of products on the market that sell reusable pads that you can wash. That's what I have to clean my tile floors. Is it came with like 3 washable pads, and it's going to last me for years, and it's fantastic. You can buy the different types of pads to go on it, but you're not throwing it away. And how much better is that for our world and our wallets?
Yeah. And it's really, it should be said, like, I think cleaning products especially, the brand name and the generic, there is a stark difference between the two. A lot of things you can get away with buying generic and seeing no difference. But I think with cleaning products, you do see a stark difference between the generic and the name brand. And so if there are a few name brand things that you want to keep on hand, that's fine. Find your balance, find your radical middle. But if you're like constantly buying all these generic disposable things, like that's really no better quality than just using what you may like see as lesser quality for something you might reuse. And you're going to be saving a lot of money. So unless you're really committed to the quality of some kind of name brand thing, then try the disposable, because I think you won't notice a big difference between the disposable and the reusable if you're somebody like me who like usually just buys the generic of the brand name. So that is something I will disclose, that I do see a difference between the brand name and generic, but when I switched to non-disposable, it was fine between the generic and the non-disposable.
Yeah.
Fourth, buy a lightweight vacuum cleaner that you can afford. So this definitely changed our lives. So I was a big Swiffer person until I bought a Dyson, and now I barely use my Swiffer because my Dyson works so well. So that's another thing. When you buy something quality that lasts, that you use, then you use those, you have less need for those disposable things anyways. But yeah, so we have a Dyson. We got it as a refurbished on eBay. So that's how we did it. But
yeah, it's a great tip.
Yeah. But buying brand new is also great if you cannot find the one you want refurbished on eBay. I don't even know if ours was refurbished. We did get it on eBay, but I don't remember if it was just like a resell from new or a refurbish. So
I love that they're highlighting that it should be lightweight. And I've noticed this barrier for myself too, that if your vacuum is heavy and cumbersome, you're not as likely to pull it out versus if it's grabbable, lightweight, you feel like you can lift it, it's easy to utilize, then you're more likely to quick spot clean and vacuum up the crumbs. So that's a really important factor when you're looking at a vacuum.
Yeah. And for these vacuums, I will say the two most important things is cleaning the filter. Because when mine stops working, it's because I vacuumed over something that has clogged it. And I thought it was broken, but Travis just, undid it, cleaned the filter, works great. And when the battery starts to go, you can get replacement batteries for like $25 on Amazon that work great. They're even more powerful than the actual battery that comes with it. So when you buy a quality one that can be cleaned and can have the battery replaced, you will have it for a long time.
Yes. All right. Next on this list is edit your cleaning supplies. So looking through what you have and what you actually need and paring down as much as possible. Usually most of us are going to need an all-purpose cleaner, a window cleaner, making sure that they are constantly refilled, but we usually don't need much. And again, that hails back to this concept of not having a ton, having it grabbable, more likely to clean often, saving time, saving money. So keeping those supplies edited and easily accessible, usually stored in a similar place, is going to be most helpful. So you want to think about a disinfectant and a sanitizer. Usually that's going to be in your all-purpose cleaner, and then maybe like a window cleaner or something. And in the second article, we'll get into different types of cleaners too for more specific purposes and how we can DIY make those. But in general, we're not going to need much.
Yeah, I like that it emphasizes limit your cleaning product collection to a few key items. Again, pay attention to that. At 6, swap store-bought for DIY homemade. We're going to talk about that more in the next one, but it just, kind of reiterates like white vinegar cleans a lot. I know it's not like all natural, but like a little bit of Dawn dish soap in 2 cups of water makes a great all-purpose cleaner. I love it. Does everything. It's way better than the I got that Grove collaborative thing, the free thing that they send you with I really got it for the glass containers because I thought they were very cute. But then they send you some of their concentrated cleaner that smells really good. And I use it and I was like, this is okay, but it's not as good as my Dawn. Nice teaspoon of Dawn in 2 cups of water. But yeah, so using ammonia, vinegar, all those things we'll cover in the next article.
Yep. Next on here, we all know this, but it's worth reiterating to shop smart for the store-bought cleaners. So if there are specific types of cleaners that you know and love and they work for you, awesome. But let's pare down to what we know we're going to want to get versus what we can DIY. And so some of this might be trial and error, trying out some of the DIY glass cleaners and all-purpose cleaners and really narrowing down what do you feel as though is worth you buying store-bought, and then, trying to find the best deal for that. But I would argue that we don't need name brand for every single type of cleaner that's out there. We just need to identify what works best for us. So for me, for example, I've got some more DIY cleaners for all-purpose and glass cleaner. Those are generally what work for me. Otherwise, I use vinegar and water, and sometimes baking soda gets thrown into the mix. And the one thing that I will buy, and I'm okay with generic as well, although I think what's currently in my cabinet is the name brand, but a stainless steel cleaner. So I don't know, there's probably a way to DIY that, but I will purchase the stainless steel cleaner and I use that, once a month. So it's lasting me a really long time, but that's my one thing that I'll buy store-bought and possibly even name brand. And that's just what works for me. That's what I've noticed I feel best with, makes things look the most shiny. And so you can figure out what's going to be best for you.
Yeah. My one thing is usually a tub cleaner because I don't wash my tub a lot. It's my least favorite thing and I'll use the same on the toilet. They're my least favorite things to clean. So I will use my heavy duty.
Oh, that's true. Barkeepers. Yeah. That's true. I lied. Barkeepers is my go-to for the tub. Yeah. And then I'll also use it on my pots and pans.
I love Barkeepers.
So yes, that's a name brand that is under my sink.
Yeah, definitely. Those two things. And then some Lysol wipes, just because I do like to have those easily. We've been all so sick lately. Those are easy to, when you're using a lot, to just have them.
Oh, Jen, around. I'm going to challenge you like you challenged me with who I bank with.
Okay, challenge me.
It is just as possible to have an all-purpose disinfectant with a rag that is dedicated for the surfaces that you're wiping down. I keep a rag wrapped around my all-purpose cleaner. And if I feel as though it's getting too dirty, then I throw it into the washing machine and grab the next one. But keep the rag around the bottle, just cute little tie around the bottle, whip that out, wipe it down, and then you're not throwing it out.
Well, for all purpose, I will do that. But when we are specifically when we are sick, when we are ill and I need a disinfectant, that's when I use the Lysol, not just for general cleaning.
Yeah, but you can have an all purpose that's also a disinfectant. And if you're sick, then you just have a dedicated rag. Just throwing it out there.
All right. Yeah, we can follow up
down
later.
With the paper towels and the disposable wipes. Down with them.
Great. 8 is to store cleaning products together in cool, dark places. This is very easy. You can hopefully somewhere where your kids and pets can't get them. That's easy enough because that preserves them.
And last, number 9, we all know this. We're not going to spend a lot of time on this, but a minimalist lifestyle will lead to minimal cleaning. So the less stuff that you have, the less dusting, the less picking up, the less rearranging, the less surface area to clean, just the less. And then the more, exactly. The more money, the more time, the more fun, the more frugal friends. On to the next article.
Yes. If it takes you more than an hour to clean your home, I mean, you're moving on to a second episode of Frugal Friends. And I mean, we love you, good. But yeah, I mean, I mean, but we want you to live your life too in real life. So let it take you an hour to clean your home and spend an hour with us and then another hour with the people in your life.
Yeah. And then be done with us.
That's what we really want for you.
Put us away.
With us. Yeah.
AI might be the most important new computer technology ever. It's storming every industry, and literally billions of dollars are being invested. So buckle up. The problem is that AI needs a lot of speed and processing power. So how do you compete without costs spiraling out of control? It's time to upgrade to the next generation of the cloud, Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, or OCI. OCI is a single platform for your infrastructure, database, application development, and AI needs. OCI has 4 to 8 times the bandwidth of other clouds, offers one consistent price instead of variable regional pricing. And of course, nobody does data better than Oracle. So now you can train your AI models at twice the speed and less than half the cost of other clouds. If you want to do more and spend less, like Uber, 8x8, and Databricks Mosaic, take a free test drive of OCI at oracle.com/strategic. That's oracle.com/strategic. oracle.com/strategic.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson.
You might be asking yourself, what is sibling revelry?
Yeah, well, we just made it up.
They'll have some laughs and maybe inspire some people along the way with universal tales of what it's like to grow up with brothers and sisters.
We're full-blood siblings, the only full-blood sibling.
In our family. Well, not in the world. I mean...
No, in the whole world. That's just it. Like, no one...
Dive into family tales and explore the human mind with guests like Joel and Benji Madden.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up, to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us. Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
So the next article, we are moving into DIY cleaners, so homemade cleaners. And this is from Good Housekeeping. I like all the tests that they do. So hopefully this is an accurate, good, well-tested article. It says it is, but obviously I can't verify. But it's 8 homemade cleaners that actually work according to our cleaning expert. So I guess Lauren Smith McDonough, you don't steer me wrong here. So let's get into the first one is scented all-purpose cleaner. So this is not my all-purpose cleaner that I use, which is not 100% natural. It's a teaspoon of Dawn with 2 cups of water in a spray bottle. That's my go-to. This one is 1 part white vinegar, 1 part water, and then they put in a lemon rind and some rosemary sprigs because they're fancy. And that is their all-purpose cleaner. But they do caution, don't use acidic cleaners on granite. The lemon rind will start to etch the stone, and to proceed cautiously on stainless steel. So some manufacturers recommend against using vinegar on their appliance surfaces. So that's if you're doing granite, stainless steel, you may want to stick with my Dawn cleaner. Mm-hmm. I didn't come up with it. It was some cleaning YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Something maker. But yeah.
The next one is just a kitchen cleaner and deodorizer, which baking soda is fantastic for. I mean, I'm sure many of you already have just an open container of baking soda in your fridge to soak up any of those odors. So this is that idea, but it can also be a helpful cleaner when mixed with a little bit of warm water. So really, if they're talking ratios, they're saying 4 tablespoons baking soda to 1 quart of warm water. But sometimes you're just going to want to put the baking soda on the spot that you want to clean and deodorize and then wipe it up with the warm water. So that would be good for shining stainless steel or appliances. You can also utilize some of the baking soda solution straight from the box on the garbage disposal or just to remove odor. So we did this one time we got a couch on Facebook Marketplace. And because I don't know if anyone remembers, but back during the intensive COVID days, everything was on back order, including furniture. And we had just moved and we weren't going to get a brand new couch for like 3 or 4 months. And thankfully we were able to find one used, but it was from a previous pet owner. And you could tell the exact spot that the dog enjoyed sitting. It was a clean couch, but some of the smell of the dog was still in this one section. And so we just put baking soda on it, let it sit overnight and vacuumed it up. And the smell was gone. You can do this in your car too. If you get a used car and there's some odors that are unidentifiable, put baking soda everywhere and then vacuum it up. It should take the stank with it.
Yeah, we do this on our mattress. If I'm pulling it off and I see any like stains or anything, some baking soda. Can't remember if I put anything else on there with it. But yeah, baking soda, maybe a little hydrogen peroxide, possibly. But yeah, I don't know if I do those together. I can't remember. But yeah, it works great. You just leave it in there while you're washing the sheets. Before you put the mattress pad and the sheets back on, you just you clean that up, vacuum it up, and any rings, stains are gone. It's great. We have a memory foam mattress, so we use that on that.
Nice, yeah.
3 is a DIY glass cleaner. So you'll need 2 cups of water, half cup of white or cider vinegar, a quarter cup of rubbing alcohol, 70% concentration, and then optional 1 to 2 drops of orange essential oil because they fancy. I don't put essential oils in my cleaning products because I'm not fancy.
No, not necessary.
This is a good one. Yeah, this is a good one. I don't clean my windows or glass with newspaper. Have you ever done that, Jill?
No, I feel like the ink would come off.
People love it. I also feel that way, and I've seen it happen. It doesn't. But that's another suggestion. If you have any old newspaper on hand, maybe you're looking for a way to reuse it, this could be an option for that.
The ink would definitely come off on my hands, though, at least.
Yeah, you'd have to use gloves. Again, okay. I use my hand towel because I don't use bleach, so I don't worry about the hand towel, the color staining. So I just use hand towel.
Shout out to my mother-in-law. Linda Sirianni cleans my windows, like exterior and interior, every visit she comes down. So that means my windows get cleaned once a year and it's perfect.
Do you think it's because she loves you or she judges you?
Well, I don't really care the motive because I benefit.
Amen. And that is the right attitude.
It might be both, you know? But it's just not a priority to me to clean the exterior of my windows. But every time she does it, I'm like, oh, wow. I didn't realize how little I could see. I thought I had great sight out spying on my neighbors, but I can see them even better after she visits.
I know. Linda, bless her. She does everything out of love.
I do clean my mirrors. That does happen on the interior of my home pretty regularly. But yeah, a good squeegee and some vinegar, that works wonders too.
Yeah. I mean, it's more important to see yourself than to see your neighbors, but both are important.
I would argue that my neighbors are up to some cool stuff. So
cool, quote unquote. 4 is one that, because I have so much brass, it's homemade brass cleaner. And if you too have so much brass, because with your essential oils, if that's where you keep your essential oils next to and your lemon rinds and your rosemary, then just get some white vinegar or lemon juice, some kind of acid, and some table salt, and you can start rubbing it all over your brass. Just brighten it, shine it right up. As long as it's non-lacquered, tarnished brass.
There's a video that's happening here too that I'm seeing them put
it's actually
ketchup.
Satisfying.
They're putting ketchup and salt So maybe that's like the acidic, because there is vinegar in ketchup. It just looks so funny to be putting ketchup onto a cleaning rag. But
you got too much ketchup. You need to get rid of your ketchup, and you've got too much brass. There you go.
You don't need to buy fancy products to clean your fancy brass.
Same.
But also, thankfully,
better.
Tarnished brass is in style. So just let that brass get tarnished and call it your style and move on with your life.
This is my style. Dirt is my style. Trash is my style. Target is not a personal style, but trash definitely is. Definitely. Yes. It's a lifestyle choice.
All right. Number 5, we got some natural heavy duty scrub. What you need is half of a lemon and half a cup of some borax powder. Also, borax keeps cockroaches away, I've learned.
Yes.
And it's like non-toxic, which is excellent. So you could just like pour that behind your washing machine and I don't know, near your windows.
Borax seems like such a toxic thing.
It does. Yeah.
But it's not safe for marble and granite, but it's safe for almost everything else. So get yourself some borax. If you don't already have some from your child's slime phase, or if you're looking for what to do with it now that your child no longer makes slime, this is what you do with that extra borax.
So you slice a lemon in half, you dip that into the borax powder, and then you can use this on rust stains on porcelain or enamel sinks and tubs. They're no match for this heavy-duty homemade cleaner.
Yes. Borax.
And then, I mean, you can't eat the lemon after that. Like, don't eat it. Just clean with it. But you could use the other half of the lemon, make yourself a little something with tonic.
Yeah. See, that's why I don't put food in my cleaning products. Because you don't eat cleaning products.
But most of this, like baking soda, vinegar, lemon, it cleans your insides probably too.
Don't eat cleaning products or drink them. Just a fun advisory of the day.
Yeah.
And mandatorily evacuate if you're called to. Your 2 wisdom words for the day.
And I'm going to mandatory evacuate your Lysol wipes.
Thank you.
I'm coming for you. When I'm allowed to return to my home, I'm coming for you.
Okay. Thank you. 6 is a DIY grease cleaner. So if you, at your stovetop, if you do any cooking at home, which you should, it's great. You'll need a half cup of sudsy ammonia, which I don't know what that is.
I don't know what that is either. There's a link to click on. I'll click on it. You keep talking.
Okay, you click. And this is, good housekeeping. Scant 1 gallon of water. Also don't know what a scant is.
I think that means like a little less than 1 gallon of water.
Okay. Oh, and it says right here, sudsy ammonia contains detergent.
Yeah. So the link goes to Amazon for a Parsons ammonia all-purpose cleaner lemon. So I don't know. I guess it's ammonia mixed with stuff.
If you don't have sudsy ammonia, get yourself a teaspoon of Dawn. That's what it's saying. It's saying Dawn is the next best thing to nature.
Dawn is really pretty amazing. That's another name brand. Yeah, I might be grabbing for.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Dawn over generic forever. They don't pay us to say that. I think we've said that before.
Yeah,
we've mentioned Dawn like this before.
They clean your greasy ducts and they also clean everything else.
Yeah, greasy ducts, greasy stovetops. Just like give it up for Dawn.
Also, apparently you can mix it with water and it's like a relatively non-toxic pesticide for your garden. I mean, look it up. Don't take my word for it.
My father-in-law taught me that. It is a relatively non-toxic pesticide. So, and he owns a farm. He's a real life farmer. I trust him. 7, last resort clothing stain remover. I don't like how they say last resort, but let's
I don't love that either. Like,
let's
this
see
might
what they
ruin
say.
your clothing, so either you got to
last
stay.
resort.
Yeah.
Oh, because it includes bleach. 1 gallon of hot water. So this is a solid gallon, not a scant gallon, but not solid in the fact that it is not liquid. But a liquid gallon of hot water.
And this is only for white clothing. I do need to highlight that. Like, that's what they're saying. This is only for
If
your
you only
white
wear
clothing that has
gonna create a lot,
badly
too.
stained, that's not responding to other treatments. So this is a really specific scenario you found yourself in.
Yeah. So into your 1 gallon of hot water, you put 1 cup of powdered dishwasher detergent and 1 cup of regular liquid chlorine bleach, not ultra or concentrate. So this is very DIY, but this is not natural. And you soak your white garments, or whatever color you desire, just know you're soaking them in bleach for 15 to 20 minutes in a stainless steel, plastic, or enamel bowl, not aluminum. Don't make that mistake.
This is too much. Dirt's my personal style. I will wear that
Dirt
dirty
is my
white
personal-
shirt
yeah.
and call it cream.
Yes. Call it cream. So this is your
That's
last
too much.
resort.
Yeah, that is
clothing
why
stain
it's last
remover.
resort. It's a lot of stuff.
So
it's a lot of
interesting.
specifics. It's a lot of stainless steel. It's a lot of soaking. That's too much. Okay, number 8.
Yeah. If it's going to save your clothes, then save you money on buying clothes. Try it.
Yeah. For those of you who are like, okay, I can't use any of these products on my marble or granite countertops. Thanks so much. What do I do?
Fancy.
Here's what you do. 2 drops of mild dishwashing liquid. Guess what that links to? Our girl Dawn. Like Dawn dish soap, mild dishwashing
says.
liquid. Oh yeah. It's
Dawn
got a
doesn't
link.
pay them either.
It goes straight to Dawn. We all know our girl Dawn. She's got our backs. You would do 2 drops of that with 2 cups warm water.
Yeah,
And
that's my all-purpose.
How you clean your marble, your granite, because you don't want to use acid.
Yeah, I
For
did not
multiple
have-
reasons.
did not and do not have anything marble, and I used a teaspoon of Dawn, so that still works. But yeah, that's exactly what I use. And it says you can buff with a soft cloth. Do not let the marble air dry. Never use acid on your marble.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay, so maybe next time just, buy quartz or something.
That is, yeah. That's, and you know what else? You know what else stands up to acid? It stands up to really anything.
Oh, it's our guy.
It's our guy.
The bill of the week.
That's right. It's time for the best minute of your entire week. Maybe a baby was born and his name is William. Maybe you paid off your mortgage. Maybe your car died and you're happy to not have to pay that bill anymore. Duck bills, Buffalo Bills, Bill Clinton. This is the bill of the week.
Hey, Jen and Jill, absolutely love everything that you do. So exciting. I wanted to call in to share my bill of the week. Frequent bill is my grocery bill, and it's quite big. So it's actually a bill that I have decided not to budget and not to restrict and not to worry too much about. I'm a registered dietitian, so food is really important to me. I'm a big foodie. Whenever I get together with friends, we often have a potluck, bring a lot of food together. And so I've decided to let go of the guilt that used to come with spending a lot of money on food. And now I've decided to look at that bill from a grateful lens, being grateful that I have the resources to be able to pay for this, looking at it more from like a values-based spending perspective, and being happy that food is in my life in that way and not worrying too much about it. So I thought I'd share that in case anybody else feels something similar and wanted a different perspective. Thanks, guys.
Nothing but hearts.
Love that.
And smiles and almost tears over here for you. This is I feel so seen and celebratory. Like, yes, this is the thing. This is what we're advocating for.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And this is a thing that I feel like a lot of people should do with their grocery budget, because there is so much shame around having a large grocery budget when you're trying to save money. But if you're saying no to so many other things, that affords you the opportunity to say yes to this, especially people who are in fitness, or like Acacia, who's a dietitian, or care about certain being organic and stuff like that. If that's what you care about, you say yes to the grocery bill and you say no to other things. That's what values-based spending is. It's not just saying yes to everything and increasing your budget. It's knowing what to say no to and feeling no guilt when you are spending on the things that are truly in your values. So well done, girl. Mm-hmm. This is exactly what we love to hear.
I love that. Letting go of the guilt and embracing gratitude. That's my takeaway from your bill, and it's beautiful. If you all listening want to submit your bill, if it has to do with not embracing values-based spending and finding the bills that you're willing to pay, or letting go of bills that you don't want to pay anymore, don't need to pay anymore, visit frugalfriendspodcast.com/bill. Leave us your bill, whether it's funny or inspiring or off the wall. We're here for it.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson.
You might be asking yourself, what is sibling revelry?
Yeah, well, we just made it up.
They'll have some laughs and maybe inspire some people along the way with universal tales of what it's like to grow up with brothers and sisters.
We're full-blood siblings, the only full-blood sibling.
In our family. Well, not in the world. I mean...
No, in the whole world. That's just it. Like, no one...
Dive into family tales and explore the human mind with guests like Joel and Benji Madden.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up, to really all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us. Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
From the studio who brought you the #1 podcast, The Piketon Massacre, this is Murder 101.
A group of high school students started a project to research a string of unsolved murders.
Those murders happened in the mid-1980s.
He's out there doing stuff. He just didn't stop.
Everything that the students predicted through their profile turned out to be accurate.
Redhead killer profile. Male, Caucasian, 5'9" to 6'2", 180 to 270 pounds. Unstable home, absent father and a domineering mother. Right-handed, IQ above 100, most likely heterosexual.
There is no profile of this killer except for the ones the students created.
Just because some of these women no longer have people to speak for them does not mean that they deserve to not be spoken for.
What if this guy's still alive? What if he comes after us?
I said, are you going to kill me? And he said, yes.
Listen to Murder 101 on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
And now it's time for Lightning Round, which is quite something given the circumstances we're in. Although I don't think lightning comes with hurricanes, right? Right, Jen? Teach me.
Yeah, there is lightning. Yeah, there is lightning.
Okay.
So there's going to be a 2-part. We'll talk about the second part after the show, but I really want to know what your hurricane snack of choice is, which is a big thing in hurricanes. I know you haven't been in Florida for too long. Hurricane snacks, specifically eating them before the hurricane comes, is a big thing. So we'll talk about that later. Okay. We'll have a hurricane education. I know I've already kind of educated you on the important things, which I'm glad we talked about.
Now that I'm in
earlier.
it, you're going to educate me on the unimportant things.
Yeah.
That are
but first,
very important.
Mm-hmm. Let's talk about this is a really fun one that Goldie came up with. So you have a guest coming over in 30 minutes and you only have 30 minutes to clean your home. What order do you go in? What do you prioritize?
Mm-hmm. I do love this question.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
Toilet first. I don't know who you are, the life that you live, if toilet isn't first. Like, gotta check that. Gotta make sure.
I don't know who you are. You're looking at my answer right now. You know who I am.
I don't know why the toilet's not first, but for me, I am beelining. I mean, so in my mind with this scenario, I'm assuming I just got home from something and I've got 30. Usually what happens is I've got 5 minutes. So maybe that's the pressure that I feel like I'm under. 30 minutes does sound like quite a lot to me, but it's still going to be toilet first. I'm beelining it and I'm making sure that that bathroom is in shipshape order for someone to use it and me not to lose friendship. So we're doing a quick swipe of that. We are wiping down the counters in the bathroom and we're making sure that the hand towel is not drenched because that's gross. Like going into someone else's bathroom and like drying your hands on a very damp towel makes you wonder what happened before I got here and what has been wiped on this towel. This is just me. So like, do unto others as you would have done to you. There's that concept. So making sure that hand towels, I'm just like all about the bathroom. Maybe judge me. And then from there, okay, the living area that we're going to be in. So that's rearranging the pillows and possibly doing a quick vacuum. I've got a little handheld vacuum that's grabbable of the couch and wiping down the coffee table. And then, gosh, if I've got more time than that.
You don't have any more time, Jill. You're done.
Okay.
You're done. Glad you went first. In my 30 minutes, it's basically just damage control.
Mm-hmm.
It is damage control. And Jill doesn't get to come over to my house anymore now after this.
You're fine. Nothing I said was like attacking you and my experience at your house. Like my experience there's great. Love coming over.
This new house is definitely different than our old house because you could get away with a lot more because everything is newer. Everything at this old house is still older and just looks, even when it's clean, it looks dirty. So if I have somebody coming over in 30 minutes, first, I'm picking up all the toys off the floor and all the random things that are on the floor that aren't toys, but the 3-year-old has put on the floor. So everything's coming off the floor and it's getting put away somewhere in its area. And then I'm wiping counters because I was probably cutting strawberries right on the counter because I don't care about that counter yet. So counters are getting wiped. So if after the damage control, I have time, as a bonus, I will vacuum because there are for sure crumbs on the floor from the Paw Patrol cookies. And then as a bonus, I'll switch out the hand towel in the guest bathroom and use that the old one to clean the guest vanity, the mirror, and around the toilet and in the toilet, and then put a fresh hand towel out.
Yeah.
And that is what I will do if I have 30 minutes, but I may not get to the toilet.
Yeah.
Toilet is first. I may not get to the toilet.
I respect that. You have a child, so the damage control is a little different than it looks like for me. I mean, you have to think about not tripping people with toys. So I agree with that. I support you.
Yeah. And it's
Yeah.
It gets on Sunday evenings. So it gets like crazy on the weekends. And then on Sunday evenings, we make him clean everything. We just put him to work and we make him clean everything.
Your child?
Kai, yeah. And for the week. And then it kind of builds up again to the same intensity on Friday where we will clean again and prep for the weekend.
Oh, man. Wow. He's going to hate the weekends.
He should.
Yeah.
He should be excited to go back to daycare. He should be blessed. So that is what I want him to feel. Thanks guys so much for listening to our live hurricane episode that is also, we typically record a month out, but because we were both sick and out of town at different times all September. This one's going to come out. This is our next episode, almost our next episode to come out.
Yeah.
So really, really in real time, feels as live as it's going to get. But so thank you. And then also our members in our private communities, the Frugal Friends Club, which is for people paying off debt, and then our Frugal Friends Patreon, which is just for fans of the show. We want to give a shout out to you guys. We want to congratulate one of our members for a big win. This is from Christy. And I'm going to paraphrase this a bit, but she says, I'm a teacher and received my first paycheck of the school year today. I had spent a lot of time in August refiguring my savings goals and automating my savings transfers biweekly. All I had to do today to finalize all that was put in the exact amount of my paycheck into my Google Sheet check register before I had estimated it, and then no decision fatigue for me when moving any money around this school year. So congrats, Christy, taking away that decision fatigue and just paying yourself first.
Well done,
Love it.
Christy. It can feel so good when we just know exactly what's going to be put away for savings. It's done. Yeah, you don't got to think much about it when you've done that pre-work. Congratulations.
Yeah. So thank you for listening. If you are paying off debt and you want to check out our membership for that, head to frugalfriendspodcast.com/club to see what challenge we have coming up for people specifically paying off debt. And if you just love the show and you want some cool bonuses, like an extra bonus member episode every month, head to frugalfriendspodcast.com/Patreon and you'll get some fun extras in that little group.
See you next time.
Bye. Frugal Friends is produced by Eric Sirianni. All right, Jill.
Here we go.
Hurricane snacks. I know you're not a big, I don't think this is going to be as interesting as I want it to be from you.
I'm so sorry. I disappoint.
No. Yeah, especially on the snack front. I mean, you make great snacks. I enjoy your snacks, but you don't indulge in snacks the way I want you to. So,
I'm so sorry.
Tell me about your hurricane snack game.
You are going to hate this. Here's how I prepped. Knowing that we might lose power, I made a whole jug of smoothie, vegetable and fruit and coconut water smoothie. And I've got a whole jug of it, so I don't have to go without.
I am not surprised. On the behalf of everyone in Florida, even people that aren't from here, and I don't group us all together very often.
People, what are you going to say? Say it. Speak on behalf of everyone else.
I'm sorry. Because hurricanes are the place where you snack and you feel no shame. You snack without shame during a hurricane.
Okay. I've got a lot to learn.
So your first trip in a hurricane prep is always to you hit Home Depot and Publix. Depending on where you live, in what order, they are the same priority because you're going to need some kind of plywood for your windows and you're going to need water to drink.
Yeah.
Your third stop, once the boards are on your window and the water's in your fridge, you go back out to Total Wine or ABC, depending on where you live, wherever's closer to you.
Yeah.
That's where you head next. And hopefully at Publix, you stocked up on your snacks.
Well, you will be proud of me for this. We did get a wine shipment recently. They were running a great deal. So I have a whole tub, an actual tote of wine.
Perfect.
So we do have that.
Good for you. Good for you.
But tell me about your
antibiotics.
Snacks. What's your snack game?
Okay, so we relied on my mother to provide the snacks. So we've got extra Paw Patrol cookies. We already had the Paw Patrol cookies. We have extras. She brought in Swiss cake rolls. Little Debbie.
Like as if
she
it's
brought
a
in
specialty shipment.
She did. Gosh, what else? She got dried fruit. I made a 5-layer dip, like a Mexican 5-layer dip. We got stocked up on all the water. She brought the sweet tea. Nobody in the house drinks right now, so there's no alcohol. But yeah, so we got all that. I got some leftover ice cream, some popsicles. Got to hit those before the power goes out. Yeah. And then once things start defrosting in the freezer, then you just start throwing things on the grill. Meats, mostly.
Okay.
And veggies.
Okay.
So that's snacks. That's the hurricane meal plan. It's not varied like a normal meal plan. It's all together. Like this is the meal plan. It's one big meal.
It's the order that you have to go in.
You have to go in an order of
the stuff
cooking
that
more
has to
than an
cook.
order of
freezer
meat,
stuff. On the grill when the power's out. Snacks for when the power's out. But then you said you eat all the snacks before the hurricane even hits.
That's kind of like a staple of being a Floridian is that you buy all the snacks in prep. And most of them are eaten before the hurricane starts because you're bored eating and you're stress eating.
Yeah. Similar to snowstorms in the north. This all sounds quite similar. And to be fair, we got hurricanes too. The prep is a little bit different, but we did get hurricanes in the north.
You still don't know how to do a hurricane.
Apparently not. I know. And yet I still need to learn so much. It's a good thing we have this podcast together.
Yeah. I mean, that's really all I can teach you. I've already taught you about evacuation zones and that those are important.
I thought I wasn't going to have to leave. I thought that this wasn't going to be real. And you had to teach me that, no, if they tell you to evacuate, you will evacuate. And that did happen.
Funsies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we left. And now we're in a location that apparently is going to get more pummeled than our home. But, you win some, you lose some.
It's fine. You can't really escape a hurricane once it's coming.
Yeah.
All you can do is eat snacks.
And I wish that you had taught me this lesson before I was in Orlando, unable to leave. But here we are.
But there is one coffee shop open right now this morning. I'm not going to name names because
why not?
Because people will be divided on whether that's a good thing or a bad thing.
So true.
I think they're fighting the good fight for the real people, for the real soldiers. All the people that are still out there right now are, shout out also to our first responders who are already responding.
Yes. But I will end this by saying you'll also be proud of me. I brought my Vitamix with me. I don't know if I'm going to be able to make a smoothie, but I did realize this thing has value to me, and I'm going to be very sad if it either gets ripped away by the waters or looted. Either one, I'm like, I am bringing my Vitamix. Like, you have one thing to bring with you, and laptop Vitamix husband made it in the car. So I think I'm prepared for hurricanes.
I'm glad that was it. I'm glad that was it for you. And again, not shocked that you made the gallon of smoothie, brought the Vitamix, and
we're done here.
I think we're done here.
Discover the heartwarming and hilarious world of sibling connections on Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson. Dive into family tales, explore the human mind, and laugh with guests like Joel and Benji Madden. It's more than a podcast. It's a celebration of the ties that bind us.
And it's fun because we've decided to open it up to really like all kinds of different siblings. And it's going to be an awesome season.
Listen to Sibling Revelry with Kate Hudson and Oliver Hudson on the iHeartRadio app, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Jacob Goldstein. I used to host Planet Money. Now I'm starting a new show. It's called What's Your Problem? Every week on What's Your Problem, entrepreneurs and engineers describe the future they're going to build once they solve a few problems. I'm talking to people trying to figure out how to do things that no one on the planet knows how to do, from creating a drone delivery business to building a car that can truly drive itself. Listen to What's Your Problem on the iHeartRadio app or wherever you get your podcasts.